It was an honor to walk the shadows at your side. A little more inviting here, though, eh?
You're not the first to brave the dark for the Absolute. The war camp's are full to bursting.
No feuding under this roof, true soul. We're all one under the Absolute. More's the pity.
Seen the view out west from the terrace? All those beasts camped under one banner. That's the Absolute's power. The General's power.
General Thorm's prayers and preparations must not be disturbed. The rooftop is off limits to everyone.
Even you, Disciples Realm?
Everyone. Keep watch and ensure that nobody passes. Excellent timing, true soul.
The goblins. Tell me how they suffered. No. Better yet, show me.
Her mind enters yours abruptly, flickering across your memories in a blaze of excitement. She sees the goblins walking free, and a burning rage fans across your mind like wildfire.
Explain yourself.
Very pragmatic, but very boring. Let's see if there's anything interesting in this brain of yours.
She parts the folds of your mind again, touching your wants and hopes, tasting them. Every emotion soaks into her mind's palette. But there is purpose to her exploration. She is searching for proof of your faith. You feel her grasp within your thoughts for familiar, roiling zealotry. It finds no purchase.
No, just a jumble of nonsense. Shame. I didn't have you pegged as a simpleton. However, a blunt implement can still be of use. General Thorm has a mission for you.
That's it. Play along. The closer you can get to the General, the closer you'll be to the answers you seek.
There is a relic that General Thorm requires. He sent his most trusted advisor, disciple Balthazar, to retrieve it. The relic is beneath the Thorm family mausoleum. That is where you will find Balthazar. But we have lost contact with him. Go there, aid Balthazar if you can, and bring the relic home. It is something that General Thorm desires, and that he has ordered us to retrieve. That is all you need to know. And I accompanied him. It was destroyed shortly after he left Moonrise. Hardly a surprise. We're protected here, but outside the shadows are hungry. Death would not silence Balthazar for long. But dead or alive, he is lost. Whatever has become of him, it is the relic that matters. The shadows around the mausoleum are deep and hungry. You'll need a moon lantern to survive them. Take one from Balthazar's chambers. But don't pry. The last person who snooped into his secrets lost their head. I believe he uses it as a chamber pot.
It is not your time yet, Blessed One. The rooftop chapel is reserved for the General's private contemplation, save for those he chooses to ascend.
This must be the place. We have to get inside.
I'm sure you have done a great many things to get this far, true soul. But above, you will stand in her very presence. Such an honor requires more.
Her words are diplomatic, but her face betrays her true feelings. Utter contempt for you and all your kind.
Disciples Rel has given you a chance to earn that honor.
Your tadpole grasps at nothing. She carries no parasite, but you've spent too long reading people not to see what's behind her eyes. Scorn, stark behind her mask of deference.
As you see, true soul, there is so much more for you to learn.
Not everyone subscribes to what is mine is yours, it seems.
then I shall have to keep them busy praying for mercy from other gods, won't I?
Enjoy the view. This feels like it'd stretch all the way to the Sea of Swords on a clear day. If this place ever gets a clear day.
You're mistaken, surely. I am not. But we've seen... what? 5 true souls sent for an audience? And not a single one who died out himself.
Araj O'Blordra. Should you be interested, I have a particular offer I'd like to make. Put plainly, I'd like your blood. A vial of true soul's blood, specifically. With 1 drop, I can brew a rather potent potion for you. The rest, I keep for myself. Research, naturally. We Oblodras are simply curious by nature. No idea. But it will be unique to you. Your blood essence and the Absolute's blessing intertwined. We can learn exactly what that means together, Just a little prick and it's all over. Close your eyes. There we are. All of your very best traits in a bottle. Use it well. And, if I may, would you have a moment to discuss another more personal matter? Truth be told, I heard tell of your coming before you arrived. Ketheric's dogs prowl far and wide round the tower. I know you travel with a delightful Nightwalker in your retinue. Please, I have a proposal for him. I will reward you both, handsomely. That is not a name which has ever passed my lips. I am a friend to you. I wish to be a friend to him. I will speak of it when he is here, not before. But it will be to your advantage. I promise. I must prepare myself for his arrival.
I suppose you want to hear about Cazador. My old master. Before the Mind Flayers took me from him. Before this strange, twisted freedom. Cazador Zar is a vampire lord in Baldur's Gate. The patriarch of his coven, and a monster obsessed with power. Not political power or military power, I mean power over people. The power to control them completely. He turned me nearly 200 years ago. I became his spawn, and he became my tormentor. A vampire's spawn is less than a slave. They're a puppet. We have no choice but to obey our master's commands. They speak, and our bodies react. It's all part of the deal. Sometimes he'd order us to submit to torture. Sometimes he'd have us torture ourselves. Whatever his weather-vane mood settled on. Thank you. But this isn't about sympathy. It's about knowing what we might be up against. The Mind Flayers aren't the only monsters out there, and they might not be the only ones hunting us. All I'm asking is that you keep your eyes open and watch out for anything lurking in the shadows. What more could I ask? Now, is that all? Cazador, sired 7 spawn. Me and my 6 brothers and sisters. I was one of his first. Some of the others came years later. He was a monster to us all, but did take special pleasure in my pain. He said my screams sounded sweetest. Now that I'm gone, I don't know. I pity the other 6. I would, but you have so many friends already. Excellent. Now that that's settled, lead on.
Ah, another. Thy name has been recorded. I shall be here in thy camp for whenever thou hast need of my services. Be assured, it is not by choice. As thou desire.
Bleed if you must, Astarion. But give me so much as a hungry look, and I'll drive a stake through your heart.
I'll happily take the shadows instead.
I do so very like spicy
The
food.
reaction failed. I never thought I'd see one in real life. I read about your kind for so many years, but you are a finer specimen than any bestiary could describe. You're really a vampire. At least one of their spawn.
Oh, don't worry. We're all friends under the Absolute. I won't bite.
Oh, I'd prefer if you did. And he's yours to command. My envy is palpable. I'm sure he really believes that. How utterly adorable. Do you have a name, Spawn?
Astarion, but hold on.
Good. Now, Astarion. I've dreamt of being bitten by a vampire since I was a young girl.
I'm sorry, you want to be bitten?
To feel your life's blood slipping away. To dance on the edge between life and death. Yes, I want it. I'll even compensate you. A potion of legendary power that forever increases the strength of the one who consumes it. It's not for sale, but it's yours if you bite me.
I will have to decline.
Excuse me? This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and you're squandering it.
I gave you my answer.
Can't you talk some sense into your obstinate charge?
I'm sorry, but could you excuse us a moment? Are you actually asking me to do this? Trading me for some potion? Because there's something wrong with her blood. I can smell it from here. It's rank. I can't say. It just smells wrong. Unnatural. Drinking it wouldn't kill me, but it would not be pleasant.
I don't have all day, true soul.
Fine. I'll do it. Darling, I've had a sudden change of heart. After all, who could resist such a delectable neck? Hold very, very still.
Incredible.
Oh, hells.
Not to your taste.
You're fetid, full of corruption.
I feel exquisite, though. So here's my part of the bargain. I hope you find it as satisfying as I found this. It was everything I imagined, and then more. I'll be able to put this to good use. If only I'd gone further.
Bugger that. Too much bowing and scraping. I'll happily take the shadows instead.
Tremors.
Eager for
Like a
battle.
child at her first idiotry. A little saliva from the wound. Saving that. You haven't felt like prey in many moons, Raj.
At least things have stayed interesting.
Welcome back, true soul. Come back anytime. If only he had gone further.
Something slimy seems to be dripping from the rafters above.
Did she gives them to you hear her?
Many others. So, you and Lae'zel. Seems to.
Please don't remind me. But keep your guard up with her.
Note.
Here goes nothing. Something slimy seems to be dripping from the rafters above. Something slimy seems to be dripping from the rafters above.
You fight well, but you're so efficient. Why not have a little fun?
Fun? I fight to win, not to make spectacles.
What a waste.
Not if you keep them lips locked together.
Something slimy seems to be dripping from the rafters above.
Goblins are such vile parasites.
Given your own nature, are you really the one to judge?
Not everyone subscribes to what is mine is yours, it seems.
Do you have someone waiting for you in Baldur's Gate, Astarion? A sweetheart, perhaps?
No sweethearts, no. I prefer them savory.
Disc appears in your mind's eye. Lae'zel sees it too, and considers the vision.
Tirsu markings. Ancient. I recognize them, but I can't make sense. No. Wait. The texts are enciphered, but I've solved the pattern. It's a story. About Orpheus.
Your head buzzes in concert with Lae'zel's, but it hardly matters. Even without the connection, you'd recognize her discomfort.
A traitor. A dead one. This text is heresy. I can hardly bear to read it, let alone speak it. Very well. I will read it to you. The Prince of the Comet, Part 3. The histories tell us that Commander Voss, Gestil Kithrak, pierced Prince Orpheus clean through with his sword of silver, that his flesh was torn and fed to the great red dragon of Velaman. Vlaakith's faithful roar out this tale, but beneath the roars, we hear whispers carrying truth and prophecy. The Prince of the Comet is not dead. The Prince of the Comet will come again. The Prince of the Comet will liberate us from Vlaakith's tyranny. Praise be to Mother Gith, Queen of the One Sky. Praise be to your son, Orpheus, The true heir, Prince of the Comet. This is more than a fable. It's an affront to the undying Queen Vlaakith. Gith's son died to Voss's blade. Orpheus is no more. You speak like Kithrak Voss. You accuse Vlaakith of the unthinkable. As unthinkable as the greatest living knight turning on his queen. Well, enough conjecture. I did what you asked, so let's be done with it. Kalir's clutch held 36 eggs, more or less. Though I've learned of creches that harbored 100. Humanoid. How I despise the term. Githyanki are quite superior to humans. Our biology slates state that Githyanki came to lay eggs after we escaped Illithid enslavement and took to the astral plane. It's an asexual process. A favorable change by any estimation. Hideous to imagine a life where I couldn't partake in the pleasures of sex without the looming threat of bearing children. Shukiani. Githyanki chosen by Vlaakith herself to bear young. The Queen assigns when and where they must lay, and how many eggs they must bear. The Shukiani pass their eggs in the material plane. In the astral, time barely passes. It is a meticulous process, carefully timed so that the eggs hatch at once. Go on then. My own Savage would never have threatened a youngling. A waste of time and energy. The pupils themselves culled the weak from their ranks. I myself felled 4 of my own classmates once Kalir had 100 times circled Tyrell. Not every life is equal. My people have no use for cowards. Every trainee that I slayed was either too weak to withstand the lessons, or was cocky enough to pick a fight they could never win. Their lives were not precious. They were a blight that required expunging. The Githyanki are only as powerful as their weakest warrior. Jaquith de Venzir, the termination of the frail, strengthens us.
Your mind connects with Lae'zel's, and together you envision the Githyanki disc.
Another part of the Orpheus tale. This one has been translated to Common. Fine. The Prince of the Comet, Part 2. The Prince of the Comet, Orpheus himself, led his honor guard into battle. Their red dragons bellowed with righteous anger, and the heavens erupted. The glorious prince cried to all who could hear him, "Praise be to my mother Gith, the queen of the one sky, sacrificed to the hells by the renegade Vlaakith." But the true heir, the Prince of the Comet, could not overcome Vlaakith's knights and their ill-gotten worms. Mighty Voss, Gestil Kithrak, lit the astral sky aflame. When the ash had cleared, beloved Orpheus was gone. True heir, glorious prince. There's no greater crime than to exalt the pretender called Orpheus.
Are these Githyanki markings? Lae'zel might know.
Shadowheart. Such a grim name for such a beautiful flower.
Could you not stare so blatantly in my neck when you say that, please?
Oh, but do keep calling her Flower. She'll love that.
I spy with my little eye. Nothing of note, really. Something over there.